Life of a Showgirl, the Utah Legislature edition. What the hell is happening? We have a special session coming up on Monday. The governor has officially called us into special session Monday on October 6th. Us? Not us. The legislature. Someone's doing special session. Bet this wasn't on your wish list, but it does start at 9 a.m. In a classic eldest daughter move, the redistricting committee is meeting at 8 a.m. and there are 13 items on the agenda. I tried to wink, but I don't know if it's gonna work. Coincidence? I think not. Obviously, the biggest item on the agenda are the new congressional maps that the legislature has been court-ordered to draw. The full body will vote on the maps and send that to the governor. I would put a lot of money on the fact that they're definitely gonna pick map C. C for canceled. The other big thing on the agenda is, of course, Brady Brammer's bill that is trying to change the rules and standards of Prop 4 again. Brammer is trying to pass certain tests for partisan symmetry. Since this bill came out, people have been really critical of the one test that he decided to use because even the people that made that test said that it does not work in Utah. In an interview yesterday, Senator Todd Weiler was on ABC4 saying that he thinks that Brady Brammer is going to be amending this bill to add 2 more tests. We haven't seen an updated draft of that, so we don't know if that's true. But whether or not he decides to add those 2 other tests, we still don't want this bill to pass because Prop 4 was intentionally left vague for a reason. And codifying or putting into law any sort of specific test is going to be bad down the road because we should be using the best available methods at the time of redistricting, not just the ones that Brady Brammer decides are the best ones. Todd Weiler was blaming all of the calls and outreach on Democratic special interest groups, which I think is actually romantic. So there's some other things that are on the agenda for special session because they gotta bury the bad news. We have HB 1001, which is the Great Salt Lake Berm bill. This bill is being run by Jill Coford, who's up in Ogden, who's definitely gonna lose her re-election campaign next year, and so the Republicans gave her this little gift. This bill gives the Division of Forestry, Wood, Fire, and State Lands power to raise or lower the causeway that splits the lake to adjust the salinity levels. Someone who's a water expert, please tell us if this is good or bad. It's probably good, which is why they give it to Jill Coford, because she needs something good to prove that she's doing good stuff. Next on the agenda is HB 1005, aka what used to be called HB 356. During the 2025 legislative session, like a classic father figure, the state legislature demanded that Summit County and Wasatch County have to change the way their county councils are made up. Right now they have at-large districts and to force them, or I guess are forcing them, to make districted seats. But with this new bill that they are considering, Wasatch County is getting grandfather figured out, so this will now only apply to Summit County. And it's no surprise they're targeting Summit County because it is, I think, the only, if not one of 2, county councils in the state controlled by Democrats. So much for local control, once again. Next up is SB 1003, which has to do with the Supreme Court Chief Justice appointment. You might remember during session when Spencer Cox ruined the friendship and vetoed this bill because he said he didn't want this much control, but they have worked out a deal. This bill makes it so that the governor gets to appoint the Chief Justice every 8 years. HB 263, election record amendments. This clarifies a bunch of definitions and what information elected officials can access about election records. If you ask me any more details about this bill, honey, I have no idea. HB 272, making changes to the vehicle emissions testing and changes the weight of vehicles that have to be tested for emissions. HB 337, property manager requirements. This changes the effective date and allows for an exception for real estate trust accounts. You know who would love that? Elizabeth Taylor. This is going great. And we've got a House joint resolution on the rural health transformation funds that are coming from the federal government to help give rural hospitals resources. And lastly, something that is as exciting as Opalite, legal cleanup. There's a bunch of bills that they have to do legal cleanup on the language because they passed them in 2025 session and they have to clean them up, I guess. I don't know. Super fun. Exciting stuff. So we'll keep you posted on Monday on how it goes. If you still care about the fate of our state. You can still comment on the legislature's maps until Sunday. They're going to review all of that comment. Apparently the judge is also going to review all of those public comments, so make sure that you get your comments in. You can contact your legislator on the 5 Calls app before special session. If you want to attend, you can come up to the Capitol. It should go on until about 3. That's all from us.
That's all, folks.
That's the life of a showgirl.